All right, well, welcome everyone to the Three Principles Global Community webinar. The Three Principles Global Community, or 3PGC, is a nonprofit organization that is committed to bringing an understanding of the three principles as introduced by Sydney Banks to people throughout the world. And today we're so happy to have Natasha Swerdloff to speak with us. She brings a wealth of experience spanning 3 decades to her work in exploring the inside-out nature of life. She established the Principles Institute in 2012 to expand the reach of the three principles in Denmark and abroad. In 2014, in collaboration with Dr. Dicken Bettinger, she co-authored Coming Home, Uncovering the Foundations of Psychological Well-Being. Her latest endeavor, the creation of the Three Principles School, reflects her commitment to nurturing skilled practitioners in this field. She's also the co-author of Lulu and Leo, a children's book that introduces young readers to the power of their own inner resilience through engaging stories and gentle wisdom. And lastly, she currently serves as the president of the Three Principles Global Community, or 3PGC, where she is dedicated to the ongoing deepening of her understanding and sharing this work as purely and authentically as possible. And with that, I will turn it over to you, Natasha.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks so much. When I was reflecting on this talk tonight and I had to come up with a title, I had just finished reading a book named Passionate Presence, which looks at certain qualities of presence. And it's a spiritual book. I really enjoyed it. Actually, Dicken gave it to me, and we love giving each other books and reflecting on them together. And in reflecting on it, I could see how what she was speaking about, in other words, were the principles. Now she had she had 7 qualities of passionate presence, and I see that there are 3. I'm going to come back to that. But I wanted to start somewhere else. I wanted to allow you to just get an opportunity to get a sense of presence, a sense of your presence, a sense of the aliveness in you right now. So I'm going to ask you to do just a little exercise with me. Either you're on camera or you're off camera, it's okay. But I'd love for you to do like this. Like some of you probably know this. You can sort of just allow your hands to come out like this and just get a sense of like almost like a ball being between. You can sort of play a little bit with when you sense energy between your hands. Can you get a sense of a tingling, of something, energy, maybe heat, something? Can you get a sense of that? Now, just close your eyes and allow your arms to come down for a moment. And now try and get a sense of that tingling or energy or warmth in your body. Just try and get a sense of that aliveness that's here. Can you notice an aliveness? Can you notice energy in your body? Notice that presence is not something that we need to find. It's what allows you to be aware of everything that's coming and going. So the fact that you right now are trying to find this aliveness, that something is noticing what is here, That's presence. That's you. That's the aliveness. You can gently open your eyes again. But see if you can stay with the feeling of this aliveness. Now, we have a tendency to think that this presence is something that we need to search for or develop or practice. What if it's who we are? What if it's already here? Always. And the only thing that ever metaphorically takes us away from it is our thinking, our personal thinking, the dramas that personal thinking cooks up. Yeah, but this is going on in the world. This is going on in my world. This is happening in my life. That is all true. Lots of things are going on in the world. Lots of things are pulling us in so many directions. It sometimes feels like there are these hooks come into my drama. It can be the drama of the politics in the world. It can be the drama of wars in the world, the drama of environment in the world. There's so many hooks. Notice that whatever we hook into feels like, again, metaphorically, it's pulling us away from our presence, pulling us away from who we really are. Have you noticed that people can sense when you're present? I was in a seminar many years ago. It was a spiritual seminar with an American teacher who was in Denmark. And he said a sentence that I never forgot. I never ever forgot this. He said, the biggest gift you can give another human being is the quality of your presence. The quality of your presence. That always spoke to me. That always said something to me about this present moment. Giving my full attention to whoever I'm in front. Now, I can't always do that. I get pulled away by my thinking all the time. But I notice that when I don't, I notice when I stay with presence, that people can feel it. Maybe you can sense it right now. And it's not really my presence you're sensing. It's your own. It's who you are too. So when our personal mind quiets down, when my personal thinking doesn't go in 1,000 different directions, and it sort of just naturally calms down, it's much easier to notice this energy inside, this aliveness. That's why I call it passionate presence, because it's an aliveness. It's passionate. It doesn't have to do with passionate dancing or passionate singing or music or other kinds of passion. It's simply the passion of life itself, right now, right this moment. Life is passionate about being created in every moment. Life creates every single moment. And so we have this presence has these three qualities, three powers, three ways of speaking about the same presence. Mind, an intelligence that constantly guides us, constantly. And the more our personal mind quiets down, the more I feel myself being moved in directions that I could not have thought about. This aliveness inside of me moves me in ways that are so big that I don't have the imagination to ever have thought where I would be today. There's something that guides me in a much bigger way than I can think, because my personal mind always thinks small, always thinks to protect. Don't go too far, you might lose your step. Don't do this, it can be dangerous. Don't take that risk. Do your minds do that too? So our personal minds are always in a kind of a small protective mode. It can also be sometimes grandiose and go completely all over the place. That's also personal mind. But we are also part of, connected to universal mind, this bigger mind, that doesn't have these limits, that knows that we're living in the full potential of anything to happen, anything. And so our small minds can keep us small. Oh, you're not going to make it. Don't try that out. Oh, you've got a good, safe job. You should stay here. So mind is one of the qualities of passionate presence. It's one of the qualities of life itself. It's one of the qualities of creation. It's this aliveness. It's life energy. Consciousness. Universal consciousness. The awareness of everything, which in our personal lives translate to, what am I putting my attention to? How am I using this gift of universal consciousness? Am I putting my attention to the news all the time? Am I watching what's going on? Being drawn into all kinds of dramas? Am I scrolling through social media, being drawn into all kinds of other dramas? Consciousness itself is still, is present, is now. It's what allows you to be aware. Isn't it interesting that we have constantly, for most people, a voice going on, a voice you can hear all the time, blah, 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 blah. What does she mean with that? Why is she saying that? Is there any proof? Oh, it's not like that for me. You whatever it's going on in your mind. Now, have you ever asked yourself, who is listening? Have you noticed that? What's listening to the voice? Why is it listening to the voice? Is the voice so smart? Does the voice make sure good things happen to you all the time? And if you just follow that voice, nothing bad's ever going to happen? Isn't it interesting? It's like we had a radio going on constantly and we're listening. So if we didn't believe that voice, what would happen? What if we treated it as a radio just going on in the background? You're doing your dishes or playing with your kids or cooking a meal. Something is listening. Something is just aware of the voice. I bet you inside your head right now could say hello in your own head. Try it now. Hello. Hello. You can even scream in your head, hello. You can say it really loudly, can't you? Well, who's listening? What is that? Something is noticing the voice. Something is aware of that constant speaking. It's consciousness. And isn't it interesting that consciousness, the deepest part of who we are, universal consciousness, it's us, it's here, it's now. It never speaks a word, doesn't have a voice. It's pure silence, pure awareness. Doesn't judge what's being said, doesn't mind what's being said. Just present, just aware. And of course, the quality of thought. Now, the quality of thought is what allows us to be able to think. What a gift. Wonderful that we can think so many things. And I know it can be really confusing that Sydney Banks used the word thought and thinking, because thinking is, we think that, oh, he means the thinking. But it's much bigger than that. When Sydney Banks talks about thought creating all of our experiences, he's talking about the power, the aliveness, that which brings all of your thinking to life in each moment. Universal thought, the potential to think anything. So we have universal thought that allows us to have personal thinking. We have universal consciousness that allows us to use our awareness in any direction we wish. And we have universal mind that allows us to live in however way we want. So the principles point to what is creating all of these experiences of life. The principles themselves are this aliveness, this creation. And we could call them passionate in the way that they are always, constantly giving. From the moment we are born to the moment we die, they are giving us life on a physical level, psychological level, on all levels of life. We are given this ability to live however we want, to have all kinds of experiences. Now, many of you know this already. And yet, for many of us, we keep looking for this sense of peace. We long for just being present. We know it's a really nice place to be. And yet, we find ourselves again and again caught up in life's different hooks, life's different dramas. And even if we didn't look at life's dramas out there's the voice in my head telling me stories. Oh, you can't possibly think you'd ever become a good football player because look at blah, blah. Or you can't possibly think you could ever take that education because whatever. Seeing that voice, seeing that personal thinking is just that. It's thinking, it's a voice, it's there. It's what seems to cover the feeling of presence, the feeling of life, of aliveness. Just before this webinar, I went for a walk with my husband. It's spring here, it's evening, the sun is coming down, the birds are singing, there's almost no wind, but the colors are vibrant, so vibrant. It's just I love this time of year. You can almost feel the vibrance of the colors, the vibrance of nature just bursting. We have a tendency to think that we are not nature. We have a tendency to think that, well, there's nature and wow, it's amazing out there, but oh no, I'm not that. I'm me, and I have my story and my past and my traumas, and sure, you have a whole life lived. You absolutely do. But where is it now? Right now? Where is your entire life, your entire story about your life? Where is it now? Can you show it to me? Is there some way you can take life and show it to me right now? No. You can tell me about it. If we had enough time together, you could tell me your entire life story as you remember it. Isn't it interesting that the creation of any experience in the moment comes from how you interpret everything that has happened and everything you think will happen? If I ask you right now to show me your future, could you do it? No. What does it consist of right now? Thoughts, ideas, imaginations, dreams, fears, hopes. We could call it thought. You can think all kinds of things about the future. Truth is, we don't know. We just don't know. It's so interesting that we overlook the fact that there is only this moment. Now, this moment, I have free will. I could put on a pair of sunglasses, and then whatever I looked at would be dark. I could, right this moment, I could start thinking about a story from my past. I can start thinking about something in my future. As soon as I do that, my attention in my mind would go to that. And it would be very difficult to speak to you because I would be leaning into a direction that would take me away from this present moment. So what is here? What is here when I don't go into thoughts about the past or thoughts about the future? What's right here, right now? What is here right now is life itself. Right here, always, 24/7. Life doesn't stop. It's not like, oh, well, if I go thinking about something, life's going to stop. No, it will continue to create the experiences that are colored by whatever I'm thinking about. Yet when I'm present in this moment, notice this is from where I'm most capable of responding to whatever shows up in life. Because, oh my gosh, life shows up, doesn't it? All the time. I was at a funeral last week. I have friends who are not doing well at the moment. I have all kinds of things that are going on constantly. always. But how am I able to be the best friend to my friends who are suffering? How am I able to be the best wife to my husband? How am I able to be the best sister to my sister, the best daughter to my father, the best I can be to serve the world as best as I can? Now, very often we notice that there's this one track of the mind, there's this constant talking. And we also notice, especially when we're interested in the principles, we have noticed, oh, there's also this quiet presence that we call the now. So there's the talking, there's the quiet presence. Oh, I really love the quiet presence. Let me stay here. Oh, can I just stay here? Sure. Don't don't bite the hook of the drama. Now, one of the things that I listen to a lot of people say to me is, well, can I trust, can I trust the intelligence behind all of life to guide me the right place always? How can you not? How can you possibly think that your little pea brain is any match for the intelligence behind the universe? Really? How could I possibly think that, my mind, my personal mind, my personal intelligence, my personal experiences can ever figure out what I have access to when I allow universal mind to move me in each moment? How can you not trust that? How can you possibly think that your little ego can figure out stuff that is so huge sometimes? There's nothing at all that's too small or too big for universal mind. Yet we constantly rely on and think we have only this. So we fight, we try, we figure out, we talk to others, we Google it. We do all these things to try and figure things out in order to try and predict, prevent, control life. And we have this passionate presence, this intelligence behind all of life available to us right now, always, always, always. How can you possibly think that your little mind could figure out something that involves so many aspects of life that we can't even see? We have a tendency to when we have a problem, we look at the problem from our little mind and we try to figure it out from this side and from that side. We're trying to work it out. Well, universal intelligence, universal mind sees it from all perspectives, all at once. It knows that this person might reach this person and this person's going to end up leaving a job that then you really want to have, but you want it now, but the person is leaving in a few weeks. So if you apply for the job now, I'm making stuff up as I go, you can hear, but it's just that, wow, wow. It's incredible, the amazing, amazing things that have happened in my life since I started allowing myself to trust this presence, this universal mind, universal consciousness, universal thought. Allow it to move me, to guide me. Now, how can we tell the difference? How do we know that it's universal mind guiding us and not my intellect? Because my intellect's smart. It talks a good game. Hey, you should try this out. This is a really good idea, right? It has this conversation. That's one of the giveaways to ego, to the intellect, is that it's always analyzing, it's always coming up with at least 2 or more ways that you might go about something. As soon as you hear a voice going into a discussion, pointing out different things that would be really helpful to you, as soon as you hear that, it's the intellect. Because when there are possibilities, there's no clarity. Now contrast that with times in your life when you have known something to be true. Right now, find something in your life that you just know is true. Look for something right now that it might have been change of jobs. Like, I know that I should leave this job. I'm going to do it. Oh, but says ego, but will you have another one? Will anyone ever hire you again? You know, whatever ego starts saying, but there's a deep feeling that this is the right decision. Or it can be leaving a relationship. It can be going into a relationship. I remember the moment that I knew that John, who is my husband, that I wanted to live the rest of my life with him. It was a knowing. When you find in your memory right now, you might go to a certain place and time through your life where you just knew something. Notice that feeling of knowing. When you go to knowing, and we can explore this in a moment, but notice what knowing feels like. When you just know something. You didn't work it out, you didn't think about it, you just knew it. You were walking along and maybe you were in a city you didn't know, and you knew you had to go left, or you knew you had to go and speak to this person. You knew to get into a relationship, leave a relationship, take a job. You walked into a place that you just felt, oh, this is my home. I'm going to live here. That knowing. Usually some of the qualities that come with that knowing is it's just a certainty. There's a sense of certainty, a sense of a quality of safety almost. That's what Dickon and I in our book called Coming Home. It's just a sense of home. It's very comfortable. When Sydney Banks talks about look for a feeling, that's the feeling. It's not a particular, we can't even call it anything. So all the words I'm using is just my best attempt to try and describe something. The best way I describe it usually is it's a certainty. My intellect might, immediately after start argumenting why I shouldn't listen to that feeling, but I know it. And the times in my life where I followed it, oh wow, beautiful things have opened up that I couldn't imagine. The times in my life where I followed the intellect, oh boy. Sometimes I think it would be fun to make a list, if it was possible, of all the things that my intellect, told me to do that I did. and see how that went, and then all the things that I knew were right and how that went. I have never done that, but I get a sense that there's something I can trust. That's a deeper knowing. And it's here, it's now. So presence is not something that we achieve. It's simply a return to ourselves, a return to home. It's becoming aware of this life energy and to notice when I'm being hooked into the drama. So I'd love to open it up now and just I'm particularly want to reflect with you about when you notice you're being hooked, when you notice, oh, there's something here that's hooking me, contrasted with, oh, I know where to go, I know what to do. There's this feeling of presence here that is allowing me to be guided perfectly. So I'd love to hear any reflections you have on that, and you can use your little down in the bottom of the screen. There's a react button, and you can raise your hand like this and lower it again when you've spoken. I'd love to hear from you. All questions. Sonny.
Hi. I got this really amazing and funny experience of being in the now and then suddenly not being in the now and then going back directly to the now. That was really something special happening. It was some years ago. I was in a shop and there was this guy who works there, and he was helping another customer, and I was in such a joy and feeling such inspiration of living and childish joy, you know. So I was playing, you know, and gave him some tips, but he was not in a playing mood himself. He was having a serious task to do, to guide his customer there. So he was a little bit more like in the serious world. But I didn't notice that. I didn't get. So I went on my things. But then when I was out in my car, suddenly there was Sonny being offended. Sonny was not being treated right. And there was this chatter starting in my head. And I noticed it directly and started to send lovely thoughts to myself and lovely thoughts to that man working in that shop. And suddenly, boom, I felt it in my whole body. The tension I was in released. And my well-being was back again. And my childish joy was back again. And I actually heard the chatter wading off, you know. I don't know if that's the right English word, wading off, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then at some seconds later, it was totally quiet again in my head. And I said to myself, where I was some seconds ago, I don't want to be there.
Yeah. What a great story, Sonny. Yeah, it's a great example of as soon as you notice, so you were playing, you're in this well-being, you get into the car, and now this judgment starts. This
World of ego.
yeah, the world of ego. It's usually a hook is like judgment. Another hook is like when things are, this is not fair. That's another hook. Another hook can be, what are they thinking of me now? There's another hook that's like comparison. So there's different hooks that can hook us up, but you notice that. You notice, oh, I'm being pulled into this judgment, this inner dialogue. And as soon as you see it, oh, when you really see it, it allows you to come back to pure presence, to your
Yes.
world. So thanks for sharing that story. That was a perfect example. Thanks. Denise?
Hi, Natasha.
Hi.
Hi. For me, yeah, I notice it when there's a sense of urgency, or I'm feeling stressed or anxiety about something. Like, I used to think that I was just an introvert and I hated social situations, and I realized, through all my experiences with through principles, that, oh my gosh, that's not it at all. It's just the fact that I beat myself up so badly after every social interaction. Like, oh, I should have said this. Oh my gosh, I didn't reach out to so and so. Oh my God, what did they think of me? So when you talk about judgment, it's like, oh yeah, ding ding ding. I go there. I used to go there all the time. So I just started avoiding social situations because it was just too much. But now it's like I've got this more of a lightness. Like I still get hooked, as you say, but not as often and not generally for as long.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And you're right. I think that for most of us, we can ask, has any one of you noticed that you don't get hooked as often, and when you do, it's not for as long? How many have
Mhm.
noticed that since you've known about the principles? Yeah, pretty much all of us. It's interesting. And it's because there becomes this time where, because you notice the hooks, and you notice it feels really uncomfortable to get sucked in to the drama, that when we do, it's like, oh, I have a choice here. Do I want the drama, or do I want to stay in peace? Do I want to be in my well-being, or do I want to be all revved up? It's interesting. Elisa.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. 1 minute. Okay. I find when I get into a situation, and thank God I'm pretty solid, but if I'm stewing, then I'm like the TV show. I don't know if anybody remembers Bewitched. Like way back, it was like an American show, and I'd have an outer body experience, and I would be here looking down on the situation and just going, no good, move on, because I would see that's the situation, and it's just a bad scene, and I get these like outer bodies, which is wonderful, and I appreciate it, and thanks for the 3 Ps.
Yeah.
Your principle's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
But maybe
well,
somebody knows Bewitched. I don't know. It's a
yeah.
baby boomer thing. Thank you. Thanks.
I wanted to share with you, because sparked by what you were just saying, the 3 biggest drama that I see that we human beings get hooked on is 1, comparison. We compare ourselves constantly. And we sometimes compare ourselves like, oh, she's much more beautiful or smart or rich or famous or than me, or oh, I'm actually a little better than that person or that person. Comparison constantly. How many know of that hook of comparison? How much time do we spend on comparing ourselves with others? That's one of the hooks. Another hook is judgment. Oh my gosh, judgment. Judging myself, judging others, judging the weather, judging the weatherman for making mistakes, judging. Oh my gosh, that voice of judgment. And it always comes with a feeling, doesn't it? Judgment. It's not a very pleasant feeling. Well, sometimes it's nice judgment. Oh wow, that was a beautiful show. And the third one that is huge. I wonder what other people think about me. I mean, come on. And how much do we actually think about each other? We're too caught up in thinking about what you think about me that I have actually no time to think about you because I'm much more self-involved. Now, these three hooks, and there are many more, but those are sort of three huge ones that I see all the time in myself and in others. They take up so much of this talking in my mind that if those three didn't hook me anymore, can you imagine that you didn't judge, you didn't compare, and you stopped being concerned about what other people thought about you? Imagine that falling away right now, just falling away. Or another way of saying it, because the sound, the voice that says all that, that's constantly comparing, judging, and thinking about what other people think about you, it's probably going to continue. But what if you didn't pay attention to it? It's a voice. I'm saying it a voice. It's not necessarily a voice for you. I think our thoughts appear to us in different ways. Some see it as pictures, some it's a voice, some it's just the experiences. They're still going to be there. But what if you didn't pay attention to them? What if they were like the radio, just being in the other room, blah, 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 blah. I'm washing my dishes, I'm having a nice time, I'm just being present. Playing with my kids, going for a walk with my dog, calling a friend, speaking with somebody, really listening. Have you noticed you cannot listen to two people at once? You can only either listen to the person you're sitting in front, or you can listen to the voice in your head. So being present also allows us to listen. So noticing some of the hooks, some of the dramas that draw you in. So they're the three sort of hooks that I just talked about. And then they're the hooks of the so-called outside world that is always going to hook us with something. I mean, there's always something going on. There's always a war in the world. When has there not been a war? Never. When has there not been suffering? Never. When has there not been, whatever? Sometimes I ask myself, how can I best be of service to the world? By being here now. By being completely and 100% present. By noticing the feeling of aliveness inside of me, the aliveness inside of you. It's the same vibration, you see. And the more that I stay in my vibration, the more it invites you into the same in you. And so we become like tuning forks for each other. And that really is the biggest gift you can give someone, the quality of your presence, the tuning fork allowing and inviting someone else to just be heard, be who they are. when I put down all the masks and I'm just me, when I'm not concerned about what you think about me, I'm just here, then it's an invitation for you to be here, for you to lay down your mask. Can you imagine a world where we're just who we are? A world where we didn't pretend to be anything other than what we are? If I'm in a bad mood, I'm in a bad mood. If I'm sad, I'm sad. It's one of the biggest misunderstandings that I hear in this community is that we should always be happy. Of course not. Of course we're not always happy. I have all kinds of feelings during the day. It's just that if I don't judge the feelings that I'm in, if I don't compare the feelings, if I don't concern myself with what other people are going to think about whatever feeling I'm in, then I become like the sky that allows clouds coming through it. It doesn't concern itself with, oh, that's a scary cloud. Oh, I don't like that bird. No, it's allowing all of experience to be here, knowing that experience itself cannot harm me or hurt me. That is presence. Tom.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to share an insight that I just had as you were speaking, and I really, really loved when you invited us to ask who's listening to the voice, because it became very clear that's what I am. So whatever the voice is not me. And certainly whatever the voice is saying is not me. But the thing about it, just the insight was about what others think of me, because I would say that's been my biggest cause of suffering in my life, apparently. But then I just realized if I know myself as consciousness, right? And in Sid Bank's earliest talks that I've heard from the 70s, he once equated soul and consciousness.
Yeah.
Right? So it became very funny to me. So if I know that I'm consciousness, what could anyone say about that?
Yeah.
It's not even, you couldn't even, oh, that your consciousness, that's, you can't even criticize or judge that, right? So I really appreciate that because it helps me to make that connection, because as I worry about what other people think of me, then I can stop and say, well, yeah, but that's not me. I'm the one who's listening. Oh, it sounds good. But it's an insight that just was very powerful when you said that. So I appreciate that so much.
Yeah, and it can be difficult to put words to now.
Yeah.
I can hear what you're pointing to. Is like, it's almost like, well, you can say something about this earth suit that I've put on. Like if I say, oh, I don't like your hair, Tom, it's like conscious is just, yeah, what? So what?
That's not me. I have perfect hair, but
Yeah, always. Always a perfect hair day consciousness.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Thanks.
great. Thanks, Tom. Anna.
Hi, good morning. I had a bit of an insight as well, in a sense that when you reminded us that awareness or consciousness doesn't speak, and then I thought, well, how amazing that I can identify with that. I can identify with that listening. And I love that because, like you say, it's not like judgment, comparison. It's not like thoughts. They're not gonna stop flying around. But
Yeah.
I know that they're not me.
Yeah.
So I don't have to think about that so hard.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just really taken back by that. We can identify with what is always listening. And I think, that's what Sid was pointing to when he spoke about our true identity,
Yeah.
and you and Deacon and going home.
Mhm.
And such a powerful feeling. And it's also, as you know, it's funny because sometimes I listen to old recordings, and the more I grow, I can hear all our teachers and mentors saying the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
So yeah, feeling it more, I suppose. That's what I'm trying to say. So thank you
Yeah.
so much for your full presence, by the way. As you were saying, I could feel like, yeah, that's what you're giving us. You're giving us your full presence, so we know what a fully present human being is, because in our everyday experience, that's hard to find. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. It's a gift to be able to share who we are with others. So Helga, you have the last question for today.
Yes, thank you. I just felt the urge to say something when Tom was talking about what he was seeing, and that was that I think that pardon the light, but yeah, I think that we are now talking about the P brain, and we are the one who listen to this voice, and that is not us. But I just feel like in some way I wanted to say that that is also a part of us, a part of being human. And the thing we should is like, it's a tool, right? So we can use that tool. And then we are like the leader of, of our personal mind, instead of that just leading us. Right. So I just wanted to give it a bit credit, our little physical brain as well. And just see here. Yeah, but as you say, like when you need to be guided to take decisions, so listen to wisdom and not to your personal talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just maybe like seeing it quite. It's not a different way. I don't disagree with anyone, but I just felt like I wanted to say it.
Yeah, that's fine. And Sydney Banks spoke about this gift of thought as we can use it wisely or unwisely. Using it wisely is how are we gonna be here at the same time if we didn't have our intellect, right? It's a good tool. How are we going to plan a vacation or seeing friends, or how are we going to do our work without the intellect? So it's really like having two legs. It's like we need the intellect to help us with a lot of different practical things. And as you said, it's more about seeing that if we allow that to take control, to master our entire life, well, then sometimes decisions are being made that are not so wise.
Yeah,
But
so it shouldn't be our mastermind, but it's big.
it's
It's
true.
still a part of being human, kind of. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what I love in English, being a human being. The human part is a part, amongst others, the intellect, and then the being part, the deeper part of ourselves. So thank you everyone for listening to me speaking about passionate presence. It's been a true joy being with you, and I know we'll see each other again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Natasha. Before we sign off, I'm just going to tell you about the next webinar, which we're really excited about. It'll be in 1 week on May 20th, same 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be Krista Campsell. So we're really looking forward to that. So feel free to unmute yourself and say bye and thank you to Natasha.
Thank you. Thanks,
Thank-
Natasha.
Thank you so much, Natasha, for your passionate
Tom.
presence.
Thank you.
So much.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.